Yeah. Person. Yeah, I think that's just so we're done. And we have to I think I think advice for them probably not at all. Not hard. I had lunch when I first. Oh, I think she
Yes, I do.
I was here. So that's all. And then
Yeah.
oh, it looks like yeah. Oh, really?
It's like
No, you're it's fun. You don't want that. Well, I like it. Sound cool. And I do that yeah, right behind those shopping centers, it's small. I mean, why they have fun with it? That, oh, I would take that. I think I would. And this is good for their platform. My job, you know. Yeah. Like, oh, very good. Wow. Oh, there's event for everybody in the last year. Beautiful. You other text or you can do this. Yes, that's coming goes on the I can. They're talking about so all your heart.
Where do you want me? Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. That's yeah. I guess so. My party.
Oh, that's
That's where it went. Yeah. Yes, I guess all of it is. I collect things.
Sipping me.
You are.
I remove my chair.
I want to share a few words for today on this 1 year anniversary of the passing of our beloved Baneen, who joined her maker a year ago upon his command, because no one controls life and death except God Almighty. In the tradition of the Muslims, whenever we visit the cemetery, it is indeed a reminder for us that ultimately that is our final abode. There is no place or no escape from that moment, a moment which none of us know and none of us will know until it arrives. And our faith encourages us to live a life such that when we are meeting our Lord, we take with us what we've given in this life. Some may call it a legacy. Some may call it good deeds. I like to think of it as transition. What we've done here takes us to where we're headed. So today, as we reflect on these events that happened a year ago that tore the hearts of many, I am reminded of a story because we all who are of faith also know that God has created angels so that he has helpers. And one of the angels in the Muslims, we call him Israel, also known as angel of death. When God assigned Israel the job and said, it's your job to go and give me back the soul I have breathed, he said, okay, I need to make a little request. You have given me one of the worst jobs ever. No one is going to welcome me when I show up. No one's going to say thank you when I leave. What kind of job is this you're giving me? And God said to the angel of death, no one is ever going to blame you. There will be so many reasons people lose their loved ones. No one's going to say, oh, it was the angel of death's fault. They're going to say, this person died of old age, this person died of a sickness, this person, they're never going to say, oh, you, angel of death, you're the bad guy who came and made my life miserable. No one's going to say that. And the angel of death went away from God and said, I accept your command for this job. For those of us who have known people like Baneen, who have lightened people's lives, put smile on their faces, done good deeds that have left them remembering to this day and beyond. Those are the people who don't worry. We don't worry about them where they are after this life. Because God, in his infinite mercy, will elevate their status based on what they've done here. And one of the things in our faith we are told is the best thing that you leave behind are three things. One, your own deeds that you have done that you carry forward. Either you've donated to a school where people will learn forever, or you've donated to a hospital where people are cared for. Whatever the case may be, the things you've left here. The second thing is children who will pray for you. Because up until that moment, you are no longer able to pray for yourself. So the children who will pray for you. And today, I know Kumail is here. I know Rita and all her parents and grandparents who are now praying for the person who they have lost. That's the gift, the best gift you can give. So I would like us to, first of all, say her name. Let us say the name Baneen for a minute.
Baneen.
And tell me if you can say that without smiling. That's her legacy. That's the gift her parents had given her when they named her. You're not going to be able to say her name without smiling. And now I will leave you with the chapter in the Quran where it is called the opening. The chapter is called the opening. Al-Fatiha, the opening. If each of you are, Rita, did you give everybody? Yes? Okay, so we are going to pass around. Rita has done scrolls where the chapter you will have with you to follow along and to understand what it means when we visit the graves and we recite this chapter. The chapter of the opening of the Quran is one of the most common chapters recited. It is made up of 7 verses. And the 7 verses are for a Muslim who prays 5 times a day, they're going to recite it at least 10 times. They're going to read this chapter at least 10 times every day, which is a lot. So you will know the essence of this chapter as we look into it. And I'm going to just give you a little summary of it. The chapter is broken up into 7 verses. The first 3 are for God. The last 3 are for his creatures, which is us. And then there's one in the middle. The one in the middle is your testimony, that I know that I do not worship anyone but you, O my Lord. That's the verse in the middle. So if you look at the chapter and you look at how it starts, I will read it in Arabic. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I begin in the name of Allah, most compassionate, most merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise is to Allah, God Almighty, who is the Lord of the universe, or the worlds in plural, heavens and earth. Maliki Yawmiddin. He is the king of the day of reckoning, the day where none of us will escape, the day where he will rise us, our souls, and meet us. Now, when we look at these verses of the Quran and the Surah Al-Fatiha, the attributes of God are mentioned. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. He is the merciful, the compassionate. He is the king of the day of judgment. So his kingdom is mentioned here. Then it's, now it's all about me. Now I am fine. Unto you I worship. And unto you I ask for help. No one else but you. And then what am I asking for? I am asking for guidance from you, O Lord, to guide me on the path that pleases you, not the path that will lead me astray. That's it. That's the 7 verses of the opening of the Quran. These verses are also, this chapter is also called the heart of the Quran, the mother of the Quran. 7 verses. I say to you all, and I do a little prayer for Baneen here, that Baneen, we know you have preceded us because we're all headed that way. And God doesn't choose between age, gender, race, color. No, death is a certainty we will all face. And I pray to you and to you, Baneen, that your soul is floating amongst those most highest of the chosen ones in the eyes of God. Those who have done good in this world, who have guided people, who have made them smile, who have helped them, who have made someone's life a little easier. And I pray to you all that you lead the life when we visit a graveyard or a cemetery or gravesite. It is a reminder for us how to continue living our life here. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and I greet you in peace and blessings from Allah. I would like to now pass this to Hajj Samir, our honorable scholar and speaker today, as he engages us, inshallah, with the recitations.
Thank you so much, dear sister Shafnam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, first of all, I would like to, on my behalf, to extend our condolences to the family members, to the honorable mother, and to the honorable husband, our brother Hasnain, and to Kumail Aziz, the dear Kumail. I know it's very hard moments they are going through right now, but I see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow them the best of patience, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward them for that patience. I was asked to recite a few verses, or actually the whole chapter of Al-Mulk, Uh, and I was asked actually before I recite to say some of the things that we do here. We have some traditions. Among them is when we pour water on the grave, and Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said it will, reduce the pain if that person, which I doubted for her, she was a pure girl. For that person, if he was in pain on the other side, then it will be subsided. And we recite Quran on the grave because I truly believe in that. And I was telling my dear brother Khalil minutes ago, in the last 20, 21 years that I've been at the service of my community in these kind of gatherings and burials and wedding as well, I found out that in the 40th day, when we get together and recite Quran for that individual on the annual, the annual of that person when he passes, I truly found out the good people, all matters about the goodness of that individual. They will come to their grave and they visit their families and they become very happy for seeing you. From what I understand and what I know, the parents and this girl that we have, lost here, she was one of the pure ones, and they're allowed to come. Some of you probably even, feel that, that presence. And I've seen many, since I have only 20 minutes to go, total, I'm going to shorten up to here. But one of the best things you can do for anybody who passes away is the recitation of the Quran, because it makes their soul very happy and they gain rewards because of that. And one example that I can bring to you, many people ask me why we recite Quran. It's the best tradition. Why? Because Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, when she was about to pass, she told her husband, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali alayhi salam, that, Amir al-Mu'minin, I want you to come to my grave every time you had time and recite Quran for me, because it's going to make me happy. So they are present, they see it, and I'm going to recite that. And I was told to do some translation, but when time, inshallah, allows me, I will do that. But before I do that, I'm going to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. And I ask you to please join me. Recite Fatiha succeeded by Allah salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawm Al-Din. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. This year, you can give so many speeches about that the Almighty said, it is He who created death and life, just to make sure that death is there for everybody, just like our sister Shabna was talking about. So why liyabluwakum? So He can, try you. Which one have the best of deeds? This is very, very profound, but I will suffice with that. الذي خلق سبع سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير. وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. اعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور. ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. والذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور. آمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور. أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير. ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير. أولم يروا أن إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبض ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير. من هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرون إلا في غرور. أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقه بل لجوا في عتبة ونفور. أفمن يمشي مكبا على وجهه أهدى أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم. قل هو الذي أنشاكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة فقليلا ما تشكرون. قل هو الذي ذراكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون. ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين. قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين. فلما رأوه زلفة سيئت وجوه الذين كفروا وقيل هذا الذي كنتم به تدعون. قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم. قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعليه توكلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين. قل أرأيتم إن أصبح ماؤكم غورا فمن يأتيكم بماء معين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صفات على الصلوات عن الفاتحة وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العلي. I have about 7-8 minutes. I would like to recite Surah Al-Waqi'ah. And it's one of those surahs that we usually recite in this kind of gatherings. And I'll probably touch up on some of the meaning. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا وقعت الواقعة ليس لوقعتها كاذبة خافضة رافعة. إذا رجت الأرض رجا وبست الجبال بسا فكانت هباء منبثا وكنتم أزواجا ثلاثة. أصحاب الميمنة ما أصحاب الميمنة. أصحاب المشأمة ما أصحاب المشأمة. والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون. Let me just stop here for a minute. This chapter is Surah Al-Waqi'ah means the event. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the day of judgment when that happens. And I remember seeing the movie 2012 or something that shows, it was 2012 movie, right? About the the destruction of the whole world, and some people were saved, whatever. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think they took some of the information that is here in that. Because in this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when that event occurs, there's nobody can stop it. And it's going to break and crumble the mountains as they become haba. Haba in Arabic means, the dust that you cannot see usually, in a regular time, except when you have like a dark place and you have like a little light. It's called haba, the thing that is like unseen in the air. So Allah says the mountains are going to be like haba at that time. So nobody can escape from this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I divide three people, all the people in three categories. One, Ashabul Yameen, those who are in the right side, or the hand right, or the right hand. Those who are on the left, and the ones who race for goodness. والسابقون السابقون. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about these three categories, each one of them in detail. What's going to happen to them, what they're going to see. Amazing. So I suffice with that because I have about 4 or 5 minutes left to recite the rest of it. في جنات النعيم ثلة من الأولين وقليل من الآخرين على سرر موضونة متكئين عليها متقابلين يطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون بأكواب وأباريق وكأس من معين لا يصدعون عنها ولا ينزفون وفاكهة مما يتخيرون ولحم طير مما يشتهون وحور عين كأمثال اللؤلؤ المكنون جزاء بما كانوا يعملون لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا تأثيما إلا قيلا سلاما سلاما. Once who prays for goodness, the Almighty says, the only thing these people are going to hear first thing when they enter the paradise is peace and peace, no pain, no calamity, no troubles, no problems at all. They're going to stay forever and ever. There's no time. Let me mention this, that maybe some of you probably agree with me. One day we had a beginning time. Then we were born. Actually, before we were born, I don't want to get into that. Our souls were created. And then we were born, we took turns, we came here. And as our sister Shabna was saying, that we're going to take turns and we go back. But that is nothing except that the separation between the physical body and our soul. That's when it occurs. And then we are going to go to, for the good people, as this chapter talks about, in a very beautiful place. Very beautiful place. So we are not going to have any end. We had a beginning, but there's no end. Our real being, which is our soul, is going to go on. She is not, annihilated. There's no way. If that was the case, then nothing would make sense of it for us. I come here and I work and then I die. If everything finishes, there's no way. There's no way. So she's there, and from what I understand, she feels very good responsibility. She's here right now. Maybe the mother have told her. Maybe we'll talk to her about this later on. أصحاب اليمين ما أصحاب اليمين في سدر مخضود وطلح منضود وظل ممدود وماء مسكوب وفاكهة كثيرة لا مقطوعة ولا ممنوعة وفرش مرفوعة إنا أنشأناهن إنشاء فجعلناهن أبكارا عربا أترابا لأصحاب اليمين ثلة من الأولين وثلة من الآخرين وأصحاب الشمال ما أصحاب الشمال في سموم وحميم وظل من يحموم لا بارد ولا كريم إنهم كانوا قبل ذلك مترفين وكانوا يصرون على الحنث العظيم وكانوا يقولون أئذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أئنا لمبعوثون أو آباؤنا الأولون قل إن الأولين والآخرين لمجموعون إلى ميقات يوم معلوم ثم إنكم أيها الضالون المكذبون لآكلون من شجر من زقوم فمالئون منها البطون شاربون عليه من الحميم فشاربون شرب الهيم هذا نزلهم يوم الدين نحن خلقناكم فلولا تصدقون أفرأيتم ما تمنون أأنتم تخلقونه أم نحن الخالقون نحن قدرنا بينكم الموت وما نحن بمسبوقين على أن نبدل أمثالكم ونشيكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم النشأة الأولى فلولا تذكرون أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون لو نشاء لجعلناه حطاما فظلتم تفكهون إنا لمغرمون بل نحن محرومون فرأيتم الماء الذي تشربون أأنتم أنزلتموه من المزن أم نحن المنزلون لو نشاء جعلناه أجاجا فلولا تشكرون فرأيتم النار التي تورون أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم وإنه لقسم لو تعلمون عظيم إنه لقرآن كريم في كتاب مكنون لا يمسه إلا المطهرون تنزيل من رب العالمين فبهذا الحديث أنتم مدهنون وتجعلون رزقكم أنكم تكذبون لولا إذا بلغت الحلقوم وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون ونحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون لولا إن كنتم غير مدينين ترجعونها إن كنتم صادقين أما إن كان من المقربين فروح وريحان وجنة نعيم أما إن كان من أصحاب اليمين فسلام لك من أصحاب اليمين أما إن كان من المكذبين الضالين فنزل من حميم وتصلية جحيم إن هذا لهو حق اليقين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم صدق الله العلي العظيم. Let's write, let's recite another salawat, inshallah, and right after that, a Fatiha. Allahumma salli ala. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين غير المغضوب عليهم صدق الله العظيم. We know she is in a good place. We ask the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to raise her and to resurrect her with our beloved Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, inshallah. Another salawat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. It's pretty pleasant if you're not in the sun. You are here today. Could have been somewhere else, but you chose to be here, which means a lot to us. It touches us, it moves us. You were here right around this time last year, bearing her here. The whole scene, if I remember, it's like yesterday to me. It doesn't seem like a year. We were all here. I remember the whole crowd and everything. It's just unreal to think she's gone for a year. So this is a big milestone for us, the family, as a parent, to kind of go through this 1 year journey. We've had a lot of dark moments, light up moments, a lot of those hiding in the corner, not talking, not eating, not sleeping, which I still have issues with. But you know, we push forward, whatever it is. So I want to thank Shabnam for taking the time to be here. I know you had your own loss of your father just last week. went through burial process and everything, and she had committed to do Baneen's program here, service, and she said her father wouldn't have wanted anything different. So she committed of being here, and so I'm truly honored and humbled by your presence here. And thank you, Brother Samir. Your recitation, your soft voice, your prayers, your thoughts have always touched me whenever I visited IECOC. And I couldn't have thought of anyone else to be here for the verse recitation, the translation, what they mean to us. So thank you for taking the time to be here. And for Hassan, a lot of you probably know already, he's not here with us here. He is in Saudi Arabia, Mecca, doing his pilgrim Hajj. So he's right there, call it Arafat. It's a very important day. It's just a religiously very important day. And that's where he's at. They're in this big camp and this whole routine and everything. I'll have some pictures and stuff posted for that. So he's over there. And I have a message for him. I had him record something that he wanted to wish and play. And I'd like to play that.
Assalamu alaikum. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this afternoon for the important day in our life. I can't believe it's been a year since Baneen left us. From this point on, we don't have any desires to celebrate Father's Day. Every hour, every day, every week, every month has been very tough in her memory. We come here to the cemetery every day, spending time with her. We'll be the last ones leaving with Martha at sunset. We have celebrated special occasions with her birthday, opening with the fast, Christmas, New Year's, and the Eid celebrations. Our family sincerely appreciated all the support, the love, care, the kindness we received in the last year, whether it's through quick texts, phone calls, or emails, or flowers, or cards, or visiting us, or paying respect here as we navigate through year one. So we sincerely appreciate it. I left US a few months ago to take care of an emergency situation, take care of my mom. She was in ICU, critical condition with very minimum chance of survival. I had to pack up in 20 minutes for 2 months. Thank God she's okay. She's doing well under care of nursing. Since I had planned to be in Pakistan for a while, I decided that it was a good opportunity for me to spend some time towards Baneen Foundation in the name of charity. Few of the things we have taken care of in the last few months. We were able to help poor children in schools with uniforms and textbooks outside of Karachi. A water pump was installed, will be installed soon in Baneen's name. About 3 hours from Karachi, you'll probably see some pictures. We're working on a newly established nursing school for a yearly scholarship for the top performer, gold medal, as well as scholarship for continuing education. I heard from the religious leaders that you take the first step towards the charity and God opens 10 more doors for you. Cousins have been working in Skardu for the last 10 years, and they encouraged me to take a journey over there and spend 5 days in the mountains of Himalayas and Karakoram. They say the mountains were calling for us. We visited orphanages with 150 kids. We took them out for a picnic. You'll probably see some pictures there. We visited academic institutions and found some opportunities. some of the projects that we're looking for under Baneen Foundation are working on establishing mental health clinic for these orphan girls, a multi-phase R&D lab. It has a huge impact in the Baltistan area, as well as a school bus. Their school bus is very old, and often these orphans have to walk to school. So we're looking into an upgrade, getting a newer bus. Every school, every facility I visited, I ran into either a student or a teacher named Baneen, which tells me that she's guiding this path for us, and she wanted us to be there in Karachi and start doing other places to take care of these needy, specific girls in these areas. I wasn't able to join this program in person. I'm at Hajj. It's the pilgrimage in the holy city of Mecca, and I'm recording this message from there. I sincerely wanted to be at Hajj after Baneen's departure from this world last year, and God has given me the opportunity to be here in my remembrance. Thank you again for coming today and being part of this celebration. Thank you for your continuing support with Baneen Foundation. Please be assured that your help, your assistance is going to the right places and the purely needy children of this world. I'll be all soon. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.
So that was, I was thinking, how can I get him? There's no way of getting him live all the way from the desert. So then I thought of, okay, he can record, and you're not allowed to call anywhere from there. They block the calls from Viber and WhatsApp, those applications. So I thought, well, maybe you can record and the message can come through. And we did some tests and it worked. So it's wonderful that we were able to do that, be here. So kind of a quick note, there's so many things I want to say and share on this whole last year. Baneen was the one who opened this ground. If you'll remember, she was the first one here and we were wondering, oh boy, there's nobody here, she's alone. And then, you know, just within the 1 year, she has her neighbors that came by, a young boy and young adult. Adam, he's right here. Just a tragedy as well. They chose to be right next to Baneen, so they're of the same age. Things you do as parents, right? You never wanted to be alone, wanted to be safe. You wanted to be always healthy and all the things we do as parents. So that's that for the neighbor. And then I think this is the other person is in the middle age and you know, it's growing here. I don't know to be happy about it, but it's not. It is our departure. So as Hassan mentioned, you know, we come here pretty much as often as we can. You know, we'll tinker here with our decorations or flowers or incense like Martha does, her daughter over there. You know, she was 17. So we have new friends and social circle here that we've discovered, which we wouldn't have if Baneen didn't leave us. So Abir and Asad, Martha, Ram, there's a whole big community here. There's a whole different life here that, you know, a lot of us, you know, we don't know about or be part of in a regular daily basis. So that's been wonderful. Her impact, I remember as Baneen, when she was born, we brought her on Valentine's Day home. She was a very excited kid since she was little. And she would always love fireworks and scream her head off with excitement. Whereas Kamal, if you had him, you would be screaming because it's too loud and he's afraid. So they were very opposite as far as how they were as kids and who she was. And her personality never changed of being that excited and enthusiastic person. She had many friends in her life in all walks of her life. And when she was little, she could kind of be friends with anybody. Young, old, the age didn't matter. So she had many friends in all our places and she had a huge impact. You know, she inspired a lot of us. She motivated us, supported us, helped us, gave her a shoulder to lean on, especially her friends can vouch for all of that. She made people happy and deeply cared for them. And she always rooted for, you know, you can do it. If anybody has any opinion or issue, her favorite phrase, who cares? As a daughter, she gave us hard time, but in the end, she came back with lots of love and affection. She would always give me plans in Mother's Day and write her a handwritten card because I insisted I don't want store bought. She did. And I'm so thankful I have all those notes and cards from her. And Kumal does it too. I'm so glad I have those notes. As a sister, she was always there for Kumal. They may have had many fights and disagreements, but she was always there to his rescue when he was in trouble. And he's been in trouble quite a bit. As a granddaughter, she was so tender, loving, and kind to my mom and all the grandparents when she visited Hasnan's side of the family. They went together for kind of like a different program. They were together. She took care of his mom, pushing her in the wheelchair and all of that. But she just stepped in wherever needed to be stepped in for help with anybody. So my mom, for her, it's been very, very difficult journey, more than me and coping mechanism. She's just in a very difficult spot. Since Baneen's passing, she hasn't been doing too well. And it just hit her really, really hard emotionally. So I miss Baneen in our daily lives. You know, it's probably wonder just simple things, nothing grandiose. Of course, we took vacations together, cooking, going out to the dentist together, groceries, going to the gym, watching our Netflix shows, doing our nails, our favorite thing to do as a girlfriend. She gave us all haircuts, have all the pictures and stuff, and then we would have to pay her. You know, I didn't pay her, but Hasnan paid her for me. And she never failed to give me a hug every time she was coming and leaving home. Her phrase would be, hi, mama, bye, mama. Above all, I think it makes her hear her call, mama. I wish I was there when she was in her final moments in that fateful night, in that car. Calling for me one last time, mama. I wish I was there. It's the most difficult moment that plays repeatedly in my head every time we pass that custom exit just by the home. There's no escape from our memory. It's everywhere, in every place, in every moment. But we keep ourselves distracted for a little while, but then it all comes back to her. And we just have to kind of move through that. So our growth and healing. Baneen left her life. She got off the train earlier than us, but she left an unfillable hole in our hearts. But we know we have to bridge to keep moving forward. As a family, myself, Hasnan, and Kamal, we opened up and talked through our strong emotions, resentment, confronted them, our own hurt, anger, all of that. And in times of grief, a lot of people, families fall apart. Somehow we collectively managed to come together and came up to a higher ground and be thankful for that. So while we come here every day or whatever time allows for the most part, a lot of you have come up with us together. You know our routine, our drill, what we do. And it may seem silly or like, you know, not so important or whatever we're doing. And Martha is doodling on her daughter's side and scraping all the grass and whatnot. But it is an important part of our healing.
as silly as may seem, or, it doesn't do anything, but it is an important part of our healing. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To me, a pain from a loss of a loved one is in the hearts of the loved ones. And there's no guidance or boundary to how one grieves and be comforted. So with that, I have just a little poem of thank you and appreciation. Just a little poem. Perhaps you sent a little card, lovely card, or sat quietly in a chair. Perhaps you brought a funeral flower spray, if you saw it there, but we saw it there. Perhaps you spoke the kindest words, as any friend could say. Perhaps you are not there at all, just thought of us that day. Whatever you did to console our hearts, we earnestly thank you, whatever were your parts. Okay, I think Brother Samir, your Surah Yasin.
Thank you very much. God bless you and give you the strength that you need. As a matter of fact, if I recite, I wanted to mention one point here. There is no pain, there is no tragedy, there is no grief greater than losing a child. There is none for the parents. And I see, mashallah, the patience that they have is actually is a lesson for me. I thought about how come I'm going to share this thought of mine also, but how come some people have to leave early? Because as our sister mentioned, I remember one day we buried a 9-year-old girl, 9 years, the only girl that family had in Pomona, Hussein, Walid Hussein. And I remember the mother almost threw herself in the grave. Somebody had caught her. And I sat down and I thought, what happened? How come some people have to leave early? After, reading a couple of books here and there, and I thinking about that, I came to this conclusion. You might agree with me, if not, perfectly fine. I found out that God the Almighty, definitely He's the most merciful being ever and will be that way forever. And He likes us more than we like ourselves. He loves us more than we love ourselves. So there's a reason behind it. I thought that some people are pure leave early because God doesn't want them to get polluted later on. Because the only one who knows what we're going to be doing is the Almighty God. So He takes them. As I said earlier, if we think that there's no life after this, nothing will make sense. But when you believe, not like just by believing in it, no, with the philosophical, agreement and arguments and logical arguments, we know that there must be another life after this. And the pure people, sometimes they have to leave early because they're going to have a very good place and they're going to be pure over there. And I'm going to recite a little faster than last time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yasin. والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم كل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. I will pause on this for a few seconds only. Almighty Allah says, indeed, it's us who uh, resurrect the dead. And we write all the things that they even did and reacted, even by وآثارهم means uh, the the effects of what they did, the effects of what they said. وآثار means anything that left behind. All of that is going to be counted for. وضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يرد الرحمن بضر لا تغن عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين ما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون إن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا نطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمر ننكس في الخلق أفلا ينقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لا مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون سبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم. Let's recite another Fatiha preceded by last salawat for our dear Baneen to raise her grades and to raise her levels inshallah in the paradise. So please let's go ahead and recite it with the salawat. Allahumma salli ala. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين صدق الله العظيم. I would like to thank all of you for your patience as well. Thank you.
Okay, we're coming to the closing quick. I would like to have our dear friend Billy Joe and her kids and family. They came at a moment's notice to when they found out her friend's not here and I'm having this service. They wanted to come out and help right away. Got here on Thursday late, midnight from LAX. We took 2 cars to pick them up. Anyway, they have known Baneen since kindergarten, since they were little. The kids grew up together. There's a certain bond when you go in school that's Montessori than regular school. And she's helped me in many phases of our life, even moving to California. She was packing our car and everything till the last minute, packing every corner, and she's amazing at that. So she feels been lost as much as we do. And she had something she wished to say.
My daughter Julia met the name when she was 5. Like that. Back to now when he was 3. So it's been a long time and even looking at pictures all the time, It's so unbelievable that it's been so long, but there's been so much love and so much friendship. We met because of a call. Our relationship with Baneen started because of a call. I, the monastery parking lot, backed up and I bumped into Rita. And of course, I'm from Minnesota, so I'll get my insurance information and Rita said, no, what is it? It's a bumper. It's okay. And you know how it is when parents become friends. Children become friends. And this was the beginning. And you don't ever know because we don't know the journey, right? But without that car, we might not have been friends. And without that car, we wouldn't be here today. Without, and when my grandfather passed away, someone shared a poem with me that was so meaningful. And I shared it with Rita as well. And she asked me to read it to kind of close things for us today. We have different faith traditions, but we have the same unending belief in the goodness of God and the fact that life goes on in a way that we cannot fathom. And we have to let go of trying to fathom it. And that is a journey. So this poem is really talking about looking at life as if you are a ship. That's called Gone From My Sight. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the moving breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs just like a speck of a white cloud, just where the sea and the sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, oh, she's gone. Well, gone where? Just gone from my sight. That's all. She is just as large in mast, tall and spar as she was when she left my side. And she's just as able to bear her load of living fate freight to her destinated port. She's diminished in size. No, that's in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone says, well, she's gone. There are other eyes watching her coming and other voices ready to take up the glad shout. Here she comes. Here she comes. And that is dying. And death comes in its own time, in its own way. Death is as unique as an individual experiencing it. And for me, this poem reminds me that we live by faith and not by sight. And just because, just like the ship, we cannot see, it doesn't mean that someone else right now is not seeing her so clearly.
Thank you. I just love that poem. You mailed it to me. I had to save it. So looking forward from here for us, we shared many things in our walks of life with many of you. We shared happy moments, celebrate, and all of the good moments. And we say when we share happy moments, celebrate with others, it multiplies. But after our agonizing loss, I've learned through this last year that when we share our grieving moments, the pain divides. We shared with you our lowest lows and hope to also share with you our future highest highs as we continue our journey. And that journey is going to be through her foundation. I would like to harp on something that Sayed Mahdi Kazwini mentioned during her last funeral service, and it just stayed with me. In that service, if you remember, those of you who attended, he said, a dying person, the most three things they ask about when he was describing the event of this 911 call person who goes to rescue the person. And the three things were forgiveness, significance, and remembrance. I hope we are all able to forgive her for whatever her said and whatever she may have said for the moment, but she meant always good. Her significance and her remembrance, we would like to carry that forward with her foundation, as Hasnain mentioned. This monument itself is the work of art, love, and tears that we will forever be here in the physical presence in this monument. She may be gone, but years after us, we are gone. We wanted this monument to speak for itself and be here by itself. There will be nobody coming here inviting her and doing all that, but the monument will speak for herself. So her significance will go through her foundation, and Hassan shared some of those, some pictures and stuff for Skardu. It's a beautiful place. If through the foundation, if you have a desire to experience Switzerland and Pakistan from that area, let us know. It's pretty amazing. We didn't know, I don't know, so I have a plan to go visit the girls' school and all of that. So we are going to get pretty active, and we're going to partner with another foundation who are more established. And I think we carved a channel. We have to make sure legally, tax-wise, all of those are worked out. I mean, there's all this legal stuff. On a good note, I just heard back from the IRS office about her foundation approval. So that is really wonderful. So those of you, if you contribute or anything in the future, then you can submit to get a matching donation from your company, which would be wonderful. It doubles the giving. And I just want to have my special thanks to a few people, and then Kamal will come. I would like to say thanks to Fijla Mosque community for everything they have provided to her for this year. Everybody. All the funeral arrangements, the day of, the whole week, Brother Jamil and broadcasting, Zahid, and I mean, they just at a moment's notice, they're there when it's needed. You know, work, whatever, just drop the ball and be there at the moment. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for my colleagues at work, and they have showed me tremendous kindness and support, was very patient with me. I was finally joined this year in January full time, but I was pretty much out all of last year after Baneen. So they've been very kind and very understanding, and I'm so very appreciative. Thanks to my friend, dear Maria. She's not here. She's going through some very hard time and had a tragic moment of her own just 3 weeks ago. Her brother had a accidental passing from a motorbike. So she's going through and trying to recover from that. And it's so coincident. His funeral burial will be the day of Baneen, June 17th, Monday. So that is something, just a year from her. So she's been there all the way in all of this walk until here. So I want to thank her dearly. And I miss you, Maria. I know you're watching. And then to my host mom and Fritz and everybody from my American family here. They are here. My host mom, I found my host mom, Lee and Elmer, my host dad, who passed just about a year ago, a little over. I met them in my college when I was 18, you know, young and needed some guidance and a parent. And I was way back in the Marshall, Minnesota, in the cold winter freeze zone, coming from Dubai, Middle East, hot desert. So that was quite a change. But she embraced me in her life, and I've had a tremendous impact in my life. She saw me graduate, get married to Hassan. She was in my graduation ceremony. And saw, you know, my wedding, being part of that from here, and then to see my kids being born. And they were the American grandma and grandparents for my kids. So I really appreciate having you in my life. I'm grateful for our long-term Minnesota friends who are a significant part of our journey coming to this country. All of us come kind of on our own, young student, 18 years old, no family, nothing. So we usually kind of huddle up and become family to each other. And that bond that we have had from our college days, it never ceased to go away. It doesn't matter who is where. You know, there are a whole bunch of us in New York and Dallas and California and Minnesota. So I mean, they're all connected. So they're always there, been there for us. And just been great. And Baneen's friends from childhood and her California friends and connections, they're all here. So it's just been great to have the support and the community and friends. And lastly, our families, both our parents have been there for us since we're born and became our parents ourselves, especially my mom. She did a lot for Baneen and Kamal. growing up. A lot of you have seen her in our household. She was sort of this constant grandma present, making food or cooking or doing gardening, all of that stuff. So she's in a difficult spot. I hope she can pull through. She basically raised our kids. There's no word to thank or describe what her contribution has been to us. We were able to pack and move to California, crashed at my host mom's place. We didn't have a place. There's just so many interconnections that I can go on and on. So please pray for the last, and then I'm going to pass to Kamal. Yeah, and then for the last prayer. And while you do, just to keep in mind, Sister Shabnam, her father, Maria, her brother who we have passed, and for our moms, for their recovery. All right, Kamal.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kumail. I'm Baneen's brother. I just want to start off by acknowledging that today, well, 2 days from now, marks exactly 1 year from when she passed. And I'm going to talk about how it's been in this past year. The first couple months were the hardest, as I'm sure most of you can understand. There was a lot of pain. There was a lot of grief surrounding me. But those of you who were present, who are here right now, definitely helped. Whether it be sending flowers, a card, messages, just in general being here for me, my mom, and my dad. And that's what I value the most, is that everybody here today, whether you guys are coming from Northern California, Southern California, from a different state, we're all here united today just to remember my sister. And I remember when we say her name, Baneen, we smiled. And that's something that really stuck with me today, because as far as I can remember, I only remember the good. Now, the first months were very hard, but as time went on, it's getting easier. You know, with all the love and support that we've been receiving, things have gotten better, and we are doing better. And now we can remember her in positivity thanks to you guys. So I kind of want to finish this off by just saying thank you to everyone who made it out today. We appreciate you very much just showing up, taking the time out of your day to show, appreciation and just be there for us. That's all I have right now. Beautiful. God bless you and bless your honorable family. We're going to remember all the people who have passed from this gathering, and other good people who have passed in the last few months, including your sister Shafnam's father, and for the recovery of our sister Risha's mother, and all the people who have some sicknesses. We're going to recite the opening chapter. We started with the opening chapter, and we're going to end with the opening chapter, because that's the best gift we can give to our Baneen. May God bless her soul. And on my behalf and behalf of the family members, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for being here. I know you had many plans today, but you left everything behind and you came alongside the family. As Kamil mentioned, your presence here made a great difference. Today and the other, like a year ago when you were with them, it's just, they know how great it was. They really appreciate that. So I'm going to say the Fatiha. We conclude here, and hopefully we see each other in weddings and happy occasions from now on. I know she's happy. She was happy, and she's going to be happy. And her place is a very good place right now. Some people ask me where people, go when they pass. I tell them there's just no more than two places. And this is according to our beloved prophet. And according to the people that, called me, saw me, that they died and came back, actually. They pronounced them dead and they came back. So I'm 100% sure about that. The good people, they go in a very beautiful place. Very beautiful place. I wish I had time to go over that case, that very particular case. And there are people, unfortunately, like the prophet says, when they pass, they're going to be in a small hell. But the good people are going to be in one of the gardens of the gardens of the paradise. So she definitely is going to be in a garden. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure you saw her in her dreams. I mean, in your dreams. Maybe I can hear this later on. But now let me conclude with the Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think we're to our end. And some of you probably grabbed some food. These were hot. I think they're still hot. So it worked out perfect with the sun. So please, just grab a plate, make a plate. You can't stay. But we really, really thank you for being here, making this day special. Thank you.
What's that?
No, wait, that's just.
Football theories.